All right, so if you guys love the 49ers, this is easy, right? Go ahead and like this video. You guys love San Francisco, give this video a like. A lot of you guys are watching right now, and a lot of you guys will be watching later whenever we repost this thing. Trying to get 500 likes here. Do 500 people who are watching this, and thousands of you will watch this, actually like the 49ers? Prove it. Give me a thumbs up on this video right now. We would greatly appreciate that overall. And see, to show how many diehard Niner fans we have. Maybe we got some casual Niner fans or some average Niner fans. Who are the diehard Niner fans? Give me a thumbs up on this video right now. And that leads us perfectly into our first round of Q&A questions. So if you use the hashtag 49ers in the comment section right now and previously, then your question could be picked by producer Dylan. He has all the power. I never get to know. I don't get to pick what questions they are. He picks the first one, and the first one is Bryce Anderson, who asks, how many yards and TDs will Jimmy Garoppolo have? Bryce, good question. Let's throw up the graphic that shows what Jimmy Garoppolo did last year, and I'll explain my thought process on what Jimmy G is going to do this season. So last year, right about 70% completion, right about 4,000 yards, right about 27 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. I would like Jimmy Garoppolo to keep the completion percentage because 69% is honestly a great completion percentage for a quarterback. The yards could come up a little bit. How about 4,200 yards? And let's bump the TDs up to 29 or 30. Interceptions are the big number here. 13, basically, a little more than half the football games he played, and he threw an interception. And, a couple of those games were multi-pick games overall. Bring that down a little bit. Get that down to the 8, 9, 10 range. Brady, Breeze, the elite quarterbacks in the National Football League, barely ever throw over 10 interceptions a game. So you go, touchdowns come up, interceptions come down, and the yardage bump overall could come up just a little bit. But I keep the completion percentage as it is because, honestly, that's about as good as you could possibly ask for with Jimmy Garoppolo. The Chase Way 10, he asks, think that Kendrick Bourne will have a breakout year. So I did a video yesterday, I think, on the 49er channel talking about my top 4 breakout candidates, and Kendrick Bourne was not one of them. I don't see Kendrick Bourne having a breakout year, but I think a breakout year is a little bit different than just an overall good year or a better year than what he had in 2019. Bad year in 2019 for Kendrick Bourne. He had a lot of drops. He had some big catches, but a lot of drops overall, which caused a lot of problems in terms of trust with the wide receiver core. And with the new additions right now, I think Bourne obviously slides to wide receiver number 4 behind Hurd and Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. But I don't think he's going to get worse. I just don't think he's going to, ball out and catch 10 touchdowns and 1,000 yards and 65 catches. No, it'll be better than it was last year, but it's not going to be anything crazy. So don't get your hopes up, I should say, for a big overall year for a guy like Kendrick Bourne. I wish. I just don't see it happening. Let's see. Who do you think will be the main player at right cornerback? Will we see more Jason Verrett this year? No, the main corner opposite Richard Sherman will be Emmanuel Mosley, at least unless Ahkello Witherspoon beats him out in training camp or preseason. But my presumption and everything I've read and heard is that that Emmanuel Mosley is going to be cornerback number 2. He will start at the right cornerback spot opposite of Richard Sherman. And the only way that changes is if Witherspoon decides to go ahead and get the start. So here's a possibility. If Witherspoon were to beat him out in training camp, it would look like this. I just don't see that happening. So personally, this is what the current depth chart on ESPN says. Personally, I think Mosley will start, but there's no way that Verrett's just not going to happen. K'Waun Williams will be the nickel, so I would put my money on Emmanuel Mosley right now, barring injury or barring he just sucks in training camp, which is very unlikely in my opinion based on what I saw last year. Okay, I've been asking for 25,000 subs for a very long time. This is where we're at, 23,596. So if you're watching this right now or you're watching it in the future, like this weekend, you're kind of coming back to the video, you missed the live stream, then help me get 25K. I've been trying for 25K for a very long time. And we're very close. You can see we're about 1,500 subs away. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button. It would just, it'd be cool. Maybe 25K by the weekend. That'd be fun. Guys, like the videos, go ahead and thumbs up and give me a subscribe. Click there as well. Next question is one we're getting a lot. We'll go and answer it right now. Owen Pensenhofer asks, will George Kittle hold out? All reports say, and George Kittle himself said, no, he's not going to hold out. But that was a couple of months ago. And here we are in obviously it's 2020, but what is it, June almost? And he does not have a new contract. I don't think he will. He's a team-first guy. Does not seem to be a selfish overall player, so I would expect him to not hold out. But honestly, he's making like $800 this year, or $800,000 this year. Not a lot for the best tight end in the National Football League. Would you hold out? You probably would. Hopefully they get a deal done, but don't count it out just because George Kittle said he would not hold out a couple of months ago. Tyler Burbeck says, should we sign Jadeveon Clowney? No, you can't sign Jadeveon Clowney. We don't have enough money. So the Niners have like $4 or $5 million in cap space. It's just not physically possible to go ahead and sign Jadeveon Clowney. Apparently, the Cleveland Browns offered Clowney a boatload of money. Clowney turned that down. Philadelphia offered him a one-year deal. I think the Jets are involved as well. Someone else will sign Clowney. The Niners cannot afford Clowney. And guess what? The Niners don't need Jadeveon Clowney, and he probably wouldn't want to be a Niner anyway because he was a Seahawk, and the Seahawks hate the Niners. So, no, Tyler, not going to happen. We cannot afford him. That's the main reason why overall. See here. John Zach asks, do you see the Niners playing more man defense in 2020 as a result of Sherman being on the field? And as a result, Sherman being on the field less? No, I do not see them going to more man. I think they like to play the zone, and they obviously played more zone than they did man last season, and they want Sherman on the football field. They expect Sherman to be at another Pro Bowl level in 2020 because he was at a Pro Bowl level in 2019. Like, they're expecting Sherman to get at least 2 more years absolutely balling out at cornerback. He was rated by Pro Football Focus the #1 cornerback in the National Football League last year. They will not go to more man, and even if they do, they will keep Richard Sherman on the football field. So, no, I think they're going to stay in the more of the zone defense because again, with those pass rushers, they can just kind of, pin their ears back, play a nice soft zone coverage, and expect the defense to get to the quarterback, which, of course, results in interceptions and sacks and positive plays for the defense overall. All right, my favorite part of the show, Niner Gang, shout out your city right now. Where are you watching from? I, of course, am always in my home studio here in Atlanta, Georgia, and then producer Dylan is over there in Dallas, and so we're curious who lives furthest away. We get a lot of people who are people watch from Hawaii, people watch from Europe, people watching from Asia. Like, where are you guys watching from? A lot of California guys, obviously, San Francisco. Shout out your city right now. I'm very interested to see where you guys are watching from because it's fun to interact with you guys and see what's going on overall. Depending on where you're living, it won't really matter, but you probably have worn one of these, maybe not a 49er cool one, but you probably have worn a 49er mask at some point, or not a 49er mask, a mask overall at some point the past couple of weeks. And guess what? Masks aren't going anywhere anytime soon. You're going to have to keep wearing those. I wear one to my other job every single day. So you want to look stylish and cool, go ahead and grab yourself a 49er mask here. You got a 3-pack for $25. They'll keep you safe and make you look stylish at the same time. Again, a 3-pack. See the ones on your screen right now. Go ahead and pick those up right now. Chatsports.com/49mask. Link, as always, is just helpful right down below in the description box. So go ahead and jump on those right now. Let's see. Emmett asks, sign Logan Ryan before the season starts at the right price. You can't afford Logan Ryan. Guys, there is no elite player left in free agency, a.k.a. and there's only 2. It is Logan Ryan and Jadeveon Clowney. The Niners can afford. Unless Logan Ryan wants to make half of what his market value actually is, he's not going to be a 49er. So, sure, I would love him to be the cornerback opposite of Richard Sherman and the cornerback of the future. Niners cannot afford him, so don't even think about it. It's just not going to happen. Let's see. I'm going to try and pronounce this name because I butcher names all the time, but this one looks fun. Osvaldo Estrada. How'd I do on that? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 10 sacks for Kinlaw, over, under. Definitely under. It'll be about 6. How about that? Definitely not over. There's no way a tackle and Jadeveon Kinlaw will have over 10. Now, Jadeveon Kinlaw is going to be great, going to be elite, but there's just no way it's actually going to happen. That D-line, 1, is too stacked because Bosa and Ford and Armstead are going to try and get theirs. And 2, Kinlaw's not a big sack guy. Now, he is a defensive tackle, and he's technically still first and passer, but more of a clog the hole kind of guy, more of a pressure quarterback kind of guy, not really a sack guy. 6.5 sacks last year at South Carolina. I do not expect him to have anywhere over 7 or 8, so I take the under there for 10 sacks. Bounce back player in 2020. Who had a bad year in 2020? Did anyone have a bad year in 2020? Not really. Everyone else played pretty well for the 49ers. How about Jerick McKinnon? How about a bounce back career for Jerick McKinnon, who has not seen the football field since training camp of 2018? He's missed the last 2 seasons. Horrific lower body, leg injuries, knee injuries. People thought his career was over. Restructured his contract, re-signed with the 49ers, and the 49ers traded Matt Breida, which shows you that they're very confident in what Jerick McKinnon is actually going to be able to do. So I'll give you a bounce-back career. I guess go ahead and results of the bounce-back season. I think it will be Jerick McKinnon. Right now, I have him at my running back 3 on the depth chart, but really, Mostert's 1, and Coleman and McKinnon are really 2A and 2B. So whoever plays better will get more snaps, but I expect Mostert to be running back number 1. He's earned that last season. He was fantastic last season, but I think McKinnon and Coleman will battle it out for the number 2 running back spot, and I expect both of them to perform and play very, very well at different points in the NFL season. Bandit, who, of course, is a fan here of the 49er channel, and the Niners have a good shot at being the next dynasty after, if who? I don't get the if-who part. I mean, there's only really been one dynasty in the National Football League in my lifetime, and that was the New England Patriots. You thought Seattle was going to be the dynasty after Wilson won his sophomore year Super Bowl 50, but guess what? It didn't happen. Dynasties are almost impossible in the National Football League. Philadelphia looked like they were geared up for a dynasty, and they couldn't make it back to the NFC title game the past 2 seasons. You win one bowl, it takes a little while, now you can still be competitive. But when I think dynasty, I think championships. There's only been one football team that's been capable of doing that, and that has been the New England Patriots. So no, the Niners are not going to be the next dynasty, but they will be a very good franchise, a very competent and competitive franchise going forward, and that's just all you can hope for in the NFL. Now, in the NFC, who is the biggest threat to the Niners this year, and one of the big reasons why they will, obviously have a tough road to make it back to the Super Bowl, despite my prediction that they will be a playoff team. Who is the biggest threat? Let me know in the comment section down below. Listen, it's the Bucs, it's the Saints, it's the Packers, it's the Eagles. That's where I would go right now. Don't count out Minnesota as well, who won on the road in New Orleans last year in the wild card round. So there's a lot of good football teams in the NFC. Who do you think is going to be the biggest threat to the 49ers? Let me know right now in the comment section down below. Esteban said, he's a student, he says, I think Jason Verrett will have a comeback year. And no, I don't know why we're all so high on Jason Verrett. I mean, the guy was injured, didn't play, couldn't get on the football field, and K'Wan Williams has locked up the nickel cornerback slot. So no, right now I think he's right there at nickel cornerback slot number 2 according to the ESPN depth chart. I just don't see him getting on the football field because K'Wan Williams is one of the better slot cornerbacks in the National Football League. So no, I don't see Jason Verrett really doing anything in terms of trying to get on the field unless there is a big injury. Let's see. Danny asked, what stats do you expect from Jalen Hurd? Probably like Debo Samuel stats. Debo's rookie year, what is that, like 60 catches, 50 catches, 600 yards, 3 touchdowns? Probably about right. Yeah, I'd say about 60 catches, 600 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He's not going to ball out. I mean, come on, he's not going to get 10 touchdowns. But he's still going to play, and he's still going to be a threat, and I think he's going to be a very, very good target for Jimmy Garoppolo. But he's got some competition. Debo, Ayuk, Bourne, Taylor, Pettis. I mean, there are a lot of young receivers who are going to want the football. I think a very conservative 50 catches, 600 yards, 3 touchdowns is where I'd go right now for Jalen Hurd, and that would be perfect for his first actual season with the 49ers going into his sophomore year in San Francisco.